Sorry, we're trying to run a business here. It's just too busy in here now. Good morning, YouTube. We are doing a little full body Friday, starting off with a lot of hamstring work, specifically some Neufit hamstring work on the lying leg curl. So just putting a lot of electric current, increasing activation, and making that eccentric a lot harder. Yeah, we'll hit a lot of hamstrings, hit a little bit of quads, and then a lot of back today. So should be a good one, approaching the end of week 16 on the countdown. So feeling good, feeling really good. Weight check-in, we were down to 210 yesterday, which is good. We were 212 last week, and yeah, just everything's dialed in, moving in the right direction. So, oh man. Yeah, the hardest thing with the Neufit is it's kind of trying to contract the muscle constantly, right? Because the current is always just sending to the muscle, so the muscle's kind of just trying to stay shortened. So when we get to the really shortened position, it wants to shorten it even more. So you get like the most intense squeeze and then a really intense negative, because the current is trying to squeeze the muscle while you're trying to lengthen the muscle. So cheat code, cheat code. It's going to be a very challenging to follow up. Hamstrings are feeling really toast already after just 3 sets. Got to just keep the hamstrings moving a little bit. Neufit, really, because it's increasing activation, we're kind of being able to dial up that activation as much as you want to, as much as you can tolerate. Right now, hanging out at about a 60 out of 100, and just trying to really focus on pausing at the bottom with that stretch, while that Neufit E-stem is trying to just contract the muscle the whole time. We're shaking. Hard enough just bending the hips when the Neufit's trying to shorten that hamstring and pull you to this position. It's not super heavy weight, but a a lot more hamstring than I've been doing with the barbell, throwing that ass back. Okay, last set. You're waiting to do curls with these? That's the best thing I've ever heard. We'll hit just 2 sets here, hit some seated leg curls, and then be done with hamstrings. Move on to quads. Hard concept to try and take this movement to failure. So doing it with the weight as much as we can, and then just dropping the weight and just going body weight until we just can't pick ourselves up again. Just gonna sit in this stretch for a little bit. Last hamstring movement, so hitting everything here in that 12 to 15 rep range, keeping the volume kind of high, stimulus kind of high. Just focus on stretching the hamstrings, shortening the hamstrings, and not letting the hips shift or move around too much. You know I'm too impulsive to say no. Sorry, we're trying to run a business here. It's just too busy in here now. It's funny that it's always, the #1 comment on my YouTubes are always, does anyone go to your gym? Because it's, well, I usually work out when it's like midday, like 2 o'clock. So there's like nobody here. It was just me. Man, I don't miss the lack of bread that provided, but I do miss the privacy. When it was just like 1 or 2 people just fucking getting after it. Now it's like, can I work in? No, it's not. Well, the interesting thing about Social Security, right, is that like, there's no guarantee. They completely expect it to run out in 2037. So it's like, I'm not gonna get a piece of that, but I'm paying to it. Your Social Security, it should be actually like a forced savings account. Like it goes into your account, you contribute to it, and when you turn 60, you can take advantage of it, or you can borrow against it before you're 60. But what you contribute to Social Security should be what you get later on. But think about it. Think about how much money you contribute to Social Security, and then think about, oh yeah, when you retire, all of that comes back to you. It seems like that's so like no nonsense, so like obvious. It's like you get what you put into it. So if you have a job that doesn't do taxes, you don't get Social Security when you retire because you're not getting taxed up front. It all equals out eventually. You get out of it what you put into it, and the government can use those like a bank, right? You put your money in a bank, it's insured, but they can use it, but they have to be able to pay it back whenever you turn 60. Bo Alexander for president. Shaky legs. Ooh. Yeah, to you, I've seen you do that with like 315, heels up, feet like touching each other, and like still keep your chest vertical. I'm like, shouldn't be possible, but somehow you do it. We're just gonna work the rack. One more. Oh, I don't know, I haven't done this with the band on. That was really hard. Ow! I'd watch that shin though. Tuck that leg back.
What the fuck are you talking about? I'm gonna get this off with one leg. Go on 2 legs.
I was gonna say, this is a deep range of motion for you. You got them long legs. So much tattoo territory. Yes, please. You say I'm fat?
Don't talk about my friend like
I'm a little fat. PHAT.
Formerly a Bill Cosby sweater. Yeah, they're like a fucking Chinese. They're like drugstores in China.
the commercial was sometimes when I go to school.
That's the ultimate form of lung training.
Oh,
Just get super ripped and then go for a run. You're like,
run back.
I'm all about walking back. Getting as many full rep as we can, and then just kind of shortening that range, knowing we're not going to get out of the hole. So just kind of half repping if we have to, just to keep the pump going. Last side, and then it's back time. Got to just move sideways. Okay, so throwing in something a little different. This is a kind of a Teres activation that I like to use. Mostly my warm-ups, we're gonna use it for more working sets today. It's kind of like a snow angel motion. So really allowing the Teres muscles to activate, because sometimes, you know, your lats aren't functioning, they're not opening, they're not feeling symmetrical. And so using this activation not only is gonna stop that and allow your lats to function a little bit more fluidly, more mind-muscle connection, more activation overall, but it's also gonna help in terms of creating additional width by thickening the Teres muscles as well. So sometimes it's not that your lats aren't thick enough, sometimes it's the accessory muscles of the scapula that need a little bit more work. Yeah, that felt really good. Okay, so last thing we're gonna do, we're gonna move to a chest supported row. And one thing we've been really struggling with is opening up the lats some, and so I'm gonna try and really emphasize opening the scapula, moving the shoulder blades apart in the most lengthened position, and then pulling back into contraction. Easier said than done, so probably a little bit lighter than usual. Well, I could eat there, it's just not worth it. The amount of food that I'm allowed to eat to go pay for a buffet anywhere, it's just not conducive. You know, it's funny though, is that person was so bad that I never actually saw any clips of anyone that was good. Like, was the gold medalist person good? What?
Face paint. Extra sauce on that one. Dark color.
Sorry, bro, that's on your video.
I don't think the hard K counts. Oh, again, trying to stretch the upper back, stretch the space between those shoulder blades to really kind of round the lats a little bit more, mostly just for posing. So we're gonna hit 2 sets without this extra stretch, and then we'll do some mobilizations and stuff, get some posing, and see if we can just open up the back a little bit more. Whew. Okay, let's see what we got at this point. We got the portable mirrors kind of positioned so we can do a little posing over here. Really, main thing is not really the full posing routines. Obviously, I'm going to practice all that, but for the sake of this video, what I've been working on a lot of is opening up my lats a lot more in those front spreads, lat spreads, back double bi, all that stuff. So that's going to be the main focus, despite today being a very, leg dominant day. We'll get into all that stuff, but what I have been working on in terms of preparation and stuff is some opening of the scapula. So trying to really just kind of like get the lats really open, warmed up, and then using a shirt and a PVC pipe. Use the shirt to essentially kind of cushion this because this really sucks and hurts. And then you're just digging in that armpit and essentially just trying to kind of floss and find where that subscap is. You'll know because it'll be really tender, maybe through some sort of rotation of the shoulder or as you kind of move around and mobilize some. But if we can free up that subscap so we can open those lats up some, and then doing some trap stretching too. So just essentially taking our head to the side, applying a little bit of pressure, not too much, and just trying to release that trap. Sometimes I like to kind of mobilize with the arm a little bit. So getting a little bit of kind of like some active release. We're pinning that trap down a little bit through tension on the opposite side and just mobilizing the medial delta a little bit to move that trap in space under load. Other side, same thing. Doing the same thing, but for the levator, right? So the levator scapula, very easy to tighten up muscle. I think in Latin it essentially means elevate the scapula, right? So the idea is these neck muscles that pull the scapula up, we're trying to go chin to armpit and just, again, a little bit of tension. And same concept, I might mobilize that arm some, just like a lateral raise, maybe 5-10 reps on each side. And then try and open those lats up. So that's kind of my pre-lat opening routine lately. I know the lats are firing because I just worked them out, but trying to get them to really get into length more so than just getting them really tight and short, right? So that way we get into all these, lat spread motions and we can get a lot of width there without too much like rounding forward, compressing, making everything look really short. So big thing for me is ab control. So trying to pull my abs in more, practicing vacuums and stuff like that more often. So what I've had to really practice is less squeezing, less tension. Try not to squeeze too much because, in fact, when you're squeezing, right, it actually creates a shortened small muscle. That is all I have for today. Again, this is all really new to me, but I'm just trying to dissect the information, simplify it as much as possible, and then translate it to you. So when you practice your posing, you kind of know what to do and know some things to look for. So I'm gonna keep practicing all this and actually continue warming up more and more. But that is all for today. We got push day tomorrow, and it'll be a good one for sure. So Bo Alexander, Adapt Fitness, Dallas, Texas. And yeah, we are almost exactly 16 weeks. So let's go. Bye.